So when most people hear the name Jahvon Quinnerly, they may think of his part in the Jelly fan movement, his entertaining playstyle, the mixtapes, and the list goes on, but the point is he needs no introduction. We should all know who Jahvon Quinnerly is. But despite his notoriety, his career after high school has been far from the smoothest. I mean, he's experienced having to transfer, getting no minutes at Villanova, and the list goes on. However, finally, in his current season at Alabama, everything has begun to finally come full circle. He's still a crafty scorer, he's had a valuable role on a good team, he won the MVP award for the SEC tournament, and as fans, it's just been nice to see. You really do love to see it. But his name among us fans does not hold the same weight among actual NBA scouts and experts, because ESPN does not even have him in their first or second round mock draft board, and his name isn't really being brought up in conversations regarding real NBA prospects. And off the jump, I don't agree with this. I mean, he belongs in the conversation. You can just watch him play until the NBA has a spot for him. But regardless, today we will look at his college career up until this point and why scouts see him the way they do. So yeah, go ahead and comment what you think about this, but before I go any further, what's up YouTube, Plug Speaks, back with a vid. If you are new, first of all, welcome, go ahead and subscribe. Also like the vid if you enjoy. I drop bangers 3 to 4 times a week, and we are grinding for 5K, so I'd for sure appreciate it. I really appreciate all of y'all, but back to the vid though. So as most of us probably already know, Jahvon was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and his D1 offers included all types of solid schools, but he wound up choosing Villanova after originally choosing Arizona. And now that it's 2021, we know the choice of Villanova would age very poorly, but at the time back in 2018, it seemed like a pretty good choice, because Villanova had won a championship just 2 seasons ago and would win another one that year. Not to mention, they've also produced some legitimate NBA talent, with one of the most notable ones being that man Kyle Lowry. So again, this seemed like a pretty good choice, and not much has changed. They didn't just fall off. Villanova is still seen as a great program, but it was not the right fit for Jahvon Quinnerly. And as you can see, his first season at the school, or his only season at the school, was far from what he wanted or what was expected from him. This beast started in 0 games and was given an average of less than 10 minutes per game. And so his numbers were very disappointing, but of course the low production was just a result of him barely playing. But yeah, this season was just a wash for Jahvon. It didn't help his NBA chances at all, and it was fuel to the fire for all those people that for some reason hate when players are overly flashy and receive crazy hype. I mean, some people just hate it. But thankfully, as we all know, the disappointment is not where his story ends, because after transferring to Alabama, getting denied eligibility and sitting out a whole year, Jahvon Quinnerly has finally been able to show that he is not just another high school legend that couldn't handle D1 basketball. By going to Alabama, he found the program best suited for him and has averaged 25 minutes on a good team, which is not too far off from being a consistent starter. But yeah, now as far as numbers, Jahvon has put up 13 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds on great efficiency with 47% shooting from the field and 43% from 3, which is overall great production for the minutes he gets. But on top of that, he's shown that if given or allowed a larger role, he may go crazy like he did during the SEC tournament where he won MVP. Because during that 3-game span, he was averaging 16 points a game on over 50% shooting from the field and 40% from 3. Come on, telling me this is not NBA talent would be enormous cap. And I understand his numbers or even his play may not be highly impressive, but I'm not saying he's a first rounder. No, I'm just saying I believe he has a spot in the top 60 of the upcoming draft. It's that simple. But like I said before, the true experts and scouts do not feel this way. So we're about to look deeper into why by looking at a major positive, a major negative, and then some other things working both in favor and against Jahvon's NBA chances. So yeah, let's start out with a positive. Well, what we've seen in his high school mixtapes is not too far off from what he's doing right now in college. Hold up, when it comes to strictly scoring, because he has some of the best shot creation you can find in NCAA basketball. I mean, he has basically every move needed to score on your defender as a 6'1" player, whether it be a step back, a floater, a crafty finish, a series of dribble moves. It really doesn't matter. Jahvon simply has little trouble when it comes to scoring the ball, especially in a one-on-one ISO situation. And it's really nice because you would think as a 6'1" player, scoring does not come easy unless you're great at drawing contact for fouls or if you can really shoot the ball. And Jahvon actually could use a lot of improvement when it comes to drawing fouls and getting to the line. But so far he's shown he can really shoot the ball. I mean, 4 3-point attempts a game is not crazy, but shooting 43% from deep is not something we see every day. So yeah, I believe Jahvon's offensive ability is at or at least near an NBA level, and this ability for sure works in favor as far as his NBA chances. But now for a negative, and a pretty major negative at that. Because of all the cons you could bring up against Jahvon, the one holding him back the most has got to be his age. Because although he's a sophomore, he is not 19 or 20 like most sophomores in college. This man is 22 years of age, the same age as many seniors, which you have to assume is a turnoff for NBA teams. Because come on, no matter how you look at it, it's almost a guarantee. The older you get, the less potential you have, and the shorter your ceiling becomes. And of course, why would a team pick up a player while knowing they may not get that much better than they currently are at the moment? So yeah, I really believe this is the main factor against his NBA draft interest, because if you look at a player like DJ Stewart, who is a point guard for Duke, ESPN projects him late first round / early second round, even though his numbers are worse than Jahvon while having a bigger role and bigger minutes. However, it's easy to see why ESPN has DJ above him, and I even agree with it, since DJ is only 19 years of age, is 2 inches taller, and is better defensively. So yeah, it's a tough reality, but it is the truth. But anyway, on to some other factors. Now, Jahvon is not a pass-first point guard. He usually looks for his own shot first, and you can see that in his basic assist average of 3 a game. But with his shot creation, I really can't blame him. And it doesn't mean he can't playmake. For example, in the second round of March Madness, Jahvon had a total of 11 assists in a blowout win over Maryland, and he was still able to shoot 15 shots of his own in the same game. Players with no passing skills or IQ cannot really do that. But I can see how his score first mentality may hurt his draft interest, especially since playmaking is such a valuable ability. But I'm saying he can play the point guard role better than his numbers may say, which is an important thing to point out considering he's limited to this one position. But beyond this, it doesn't help that Jahvon's defense is far from great. And honestly, we shouldn't expect much on defense from a player with his build, but still, it has to be yet another thing holding back his interest from scouts. I mean, there's way too many options when it comes to point guards in the NBA. Like, it's really ridiculous. I always say it. It's the deepest and probably even most competitive position in the league. But yeah, I'm about to wrap this video up. Like I said, personally, I believe the NBA has a spot for Jahvon, even if it means spending a season or two in the G League. It's not like he's a stranger to adversity. Plus, he balled out in March Madness, but y'all let me know what you think. Could he get drafted in the first or second round? But that's pretty much it. I appreciate y'all watching as always. Make sure to like this up, share it, sub if new, all of that, and I'm out.